Welcome to the season of self-love, your daily dose of inspiration and encouragement. I'm your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery. Are you ready to elevate your mindset and embrace the power of self-love, or have you come to the right place? Each day we'll dive into topics that will empower and inspire you on your journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. Whether you're looking to cultivate healthy relationships, boost your confidence, or find balance in your life, this podcast is here to support your every step on the way. We believe that self-love is the foundation of living a fulfilled and joyful life. And together we explore practical tips, insightful interviews, and transformative stories that will leave you feeling inspired and motivated. So join me Monday through Friday as we embark on this daily adventure of self-love. Tune into the Season of Self-Love podcast to start your day on a positive note and discover the limitless potential within yourself. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, February 27, 2024. And welcome, my beautiful people, to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks here. And today we will continue talking about just appreciating our journey. Today is about celebrating, recognizing, and appreciating our journey towards dominance. And it's so essential to pause, to reflect, and to celebrate our strides towards becoming our best selves. So let's embark on this journey of self-reflection and appreciation together, all right? So y'all ready to dive into this? All right, so let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then when we return, let's talk about celebrating progress and recognizing while appreciating your journey towards dominance, okay? It's your girl, Goddess, Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Love Podcast with Nyomi Banks, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Nyomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Nyomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast. Available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join Nyomi Banks on the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Hey, it's Dr. Will with the Washington Wellness Institute. Here at the Institute, we focus on so many different things, but our biggest focus is modernizing how we take mental illness into holistic wellness and making healing a lifestyle. So, if you're interested in taking the next steps, whether it's a clinician, community member, or simply just a friend, sign up today for a 15-minute consultation. You won't regret it. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, Goddess, Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And today we're talking about celebrating progress and recognizing and appreciating your journey towards dominance. All right. So before we start the topic, let's ground ourselves with a moment of mindfulness. All right. And let's take this quick guided breathing exercise. All right. I want you to find a comfortable seated position with your back straight and your hands resting gently on your lap. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Feeling the air fill your lungs. I want you to hold that breath for a moment, acknowledging all the steps that you've taken on your journey towards dominance. Now I want you to exhale slowly through your mouth, letting go of any doubts or fears that may be holding you back. Next, I would like you to take another deep breath in, this time focusing on your achievements and milestones that you've reached along the way. And I want you to hold that breath and that feeling a sense of pride and gratitude for how far you've come. Now I want you to slowly exhale, releasing any remaining tension and embracing a sense of peace Now, with each breath, visualize yourself stepping into your power and celebrating the progress that you've made. So when you are ready, gently open your eyes and ready to discuss and appreciate the journey towards dominance with a sense of joy and accomplishment. This breathing exercise is centers you in the present, preparing your heart and mind for today's enlightening conversation. All right, so if you are new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, this is something that we do every day, Monday through Friday, before we get into our topic of the show. It's just to ground us, to center us, and to prepare us mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to receive whatever message it is for you to have received throughout this message today, all right? All right, so today we're talking about exploring progress and growth when it comes down to celebrating your achievements and all of that good stuff, all right? So progress, it's the essence. It's the forward and onward movement towards our goals and aspiration. And it's the fuel that keeps our dreams alive, right? So today we'll be discussing on why is it crucial to acknowledge our journey and celebrate each step, no matter its size. Now, I'll share a story that highlights just how transformative recognizing our growth can be, and not just for our goals, but for our inner well-being. All right, so I'm going to share with you, and I've shared part of these stories before, but I want to kind of bring it to how it's helped me with growth and even me celebrating these growth. I believe it was last week of the show that we had, and I believe it was on Thursday when I and I got my quotations mark when I laid on a couch and had a therapy session with Dr. Will, and he was asking me certain different questions, and I was able to answer those questions with the first answer that came to mind. And you probably like, okay, and for me that has been that right there was truly an eye opener. That truly was a part of me that I know that I'm growing. Excuse me. I know and I see my growth, but when that happened that day, I knew that I was growing beyond what I really grew beyond what I really thought that I had. And let me tell you why, and I think I spoke a little bit before then, but now I can because I actually celebrated it throughout the weekend as well as on that day of that show. And so on that day, we were talking about fear. I believe it was, it was fear, and fueling the fear is what we were talking about. He asked me several different questions, and I was able to answer those questions. I thought about it. I just listened to the question, in my head. And then the first word that popped up, that is the word that I said. But then after that, I was able to explain why that word was, or why it meant, why that answer was that for me. Meaning that in that moment, I trusted my intuition. Usually what I do is I will go back and forth in my mind with that very first word or whatever that came to my mind. I will go back and forth with it, literally, and would just sit in it and just go back and forth with it and say, okay, no, I don't do that. But this time I trusted it. I trusted it. And for me, it took a long time. And when I say it takes me a long time sometimes to make a decision, it does. Even with creating this podcast, The Season of Self-Love, this podcast has been in the making for years. For years. And because I thought about so many different things. And all the things that I thought about was mostly negative things. What would they think? Would they think that I was real? Would they think, it was just down. And then I was like, okay, how can I, put in self-love? Would anybody understand what self-love is what I'm talking about, on what I'm working to do with self-love, and of having everybody understand what self-love is to them. And then I believe it was November of last year, I knew going into my second book, which is 51, I knew that I had to do it. I knew I had to step and walk out there. And so I said, well, let's tiptoe with this. Let's do it as a small weekly series first. Let's do it as a small weekly series first, and then let's do something else. So as I'm doing the series on a weekly basis, I found myself wanting to do more and more and more. And I remember sitting in my during my session, my morning sessions, and I remember hearing, daily show. This is something that you should be doing daily. Now, I sat with that for a few weeks, and I said, okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it daily. And we've been doing it daily for the past few months. We are now, I believe this is probably episode 76. Either 76 or 77, please. But for me, I even see the growth in the way that I started the show to even where it is now. For a lot of you all out there, this might be just a small feat, but for me, it's big. It's big because I know who I was before. And I know how, some things I was too tentative of doing or, of moving forward because of self-doubt, because of fear, because seeking a certain type of validation. I understood that, but now I understand it so much better, and I'm okay with checking myself. I'm okay with readjusting things. I'm okay with, as people would say, with failing. Before I wasn't. Now I'm not afraid to fail because in my failure, I've learned something. So is it really a failure? So for me, that's me. I'm celebrating now in all of those things because I see and I feel the growth. I see and I feel the growth. So for me, that's been transformative for me. Just that little, of course, I got a lot of stories, but I wanted to share that one because that was just a real and raw moment that you were all able to explore and able to experience right along with me. And I'm so real with it. I'm very candid in everything that I do. And so I had to share that with you all. So as I'm teaching you all about self-love, there's things in this that I'm learning myself. But if they're not reminders or just say, oh, I didn't think of it like that. Sometimes when I reread things back, after I've written it, because mind you, I've written it like 2 or 3 days ago. So when I'm doing it in a real and a raw time, even though I have my notes, there's still something that sparks something out of this, out of this show, out of this segment. And I'm like, wow. Even after the show, throughout the day, things go into and I'm like, wow, like, man, okay, this is why you're doing it. Not that I knew why. It's just not that I didn't know why. It's just added on to another why, if that makes sense. It just gave me another number of whys to why I'm doing that. It gave me another confirmation for me, if that makes sense. So for me, I celebrated this weekend. It was just a small celebration that I had. I treated myself out to a really nice and just like, you see this? This is what is happening for you. This is what's happening for you. And you're sharing it with the world. That's amazing. You go, girl. That's amazing. Do you understand how far you've grown? So don't be hard on yourself. This is what I say to myself. Don't be hard on yourself. So that is my thing. I'm working very hard on truly having self-compassion for myself and empathy. And that's a big thing. That's something that I talk to my mom about all the time. I talk to my friends, my cousins, everybody who I talk to, because we come from a family of perfectionist, or as I say, a recovering perfectionist. And we all are afraid of failure. So sometimes people don't move the way that they need to move because they are in fear of failing. And instead of us looking at those as lessons being learned and also tools for what we are doing today and possibly for tomorrow, we use it as an obstacle. We use them as barriers, as blockage. And I've learned throughout this journey, for the matter of fact, these past 10 years, is that no, they're not. They're tools and there are gifts. We have to remember and remind ourselves that life, that today, don't nobody get it right. This is all a test. Because what can be right for me today might not be right for me tomorrow. And that's probably one of the truest statements. Because things changes, situation changes, people change, thoughts change, health change. The thing is, we have to work on us being adaptable to those changes. And that's what I understand. That is part of my growth. Do I have some more growth? Oh, hell yeah, I got a lot more growing to do. But I want to appreciate the growth now that I see right in front of me today. Yeah. All right, my beautiful people. So let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll talk some more about this celebrating our achievements and living a world of dominance. All right. It's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Are you ready to kickstart your journey to a healthier, more fulfilling life? Introducing Good Morning, My Sexy People, 90 Days to Kick Off Your Healing Living Journal by Nyomi Banks. This transformative journal is your personal guide to achieving physical, mental, and emotional well-being. With its easy-to-follow prompts and powerful exercises, you'll embark on a 90-day healing journey like no other. Each morning, as you open the pages of this journal, you'll discover thought-provoking questions, uplifting affirmations, and space to reflect on your progress. It's your secret weapon to breaking free from old patterns and embracing a healthier, sexier you. Say goodbye to self-doubt and hello to self-love. Good Morning, My Sexy People will empower you to make positive changes every single day. You'll develop healthy habits, cultivate gratitude, and unlock your true potential. Whether you're seeking to improve your fitness, boost your confidence, or find inner peace, this journal is your trusted companion. It's the support system you need to stay motivated, focused, and inspired throughout your journey. Don't wait another day to start living your best life. Good Morning, My Sexy People, 90 Days to Kick Off. Your Healing Living Journal by Nyomi Banks is available now on Amazon. Grab your copy today and begin your transformation. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself, set your intentions, and unleash the sexy, vibrant person within. Get your copy of Good Morning, My Sexy People today, and let the healing begin.
All right, welcome back. It's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And today we are talking about celebrating progress and recognizing and appreciating your journey with dominance. And in the last segment, I shared a story about myself and recognizing what my growth has been, and celebrating in my growth, Right now, we're going to talk about appreciating your journey. All right, and the journey towards dominance is a very valuable as the destination. And appreciating our path with its highs and its lows teaches us resilience and gratitude. So let's explore ways to honor our progress through journaling, vision boards, and other milestones that remind us of how far we've come. And by remembering every achievement is worth celebrating. There are a lot of heartfelt ways to recognize and appreciate the steps that you've taken towards accomplishment and personal development. And here are some recommendations, all right? Consider your successes. Give yourself some time to consider your progress in the objectives that you have reached. And thank you for all of your effort and commitment and your tenacity. So in the story that I shared with you before the break, and I was just speaking on how far that I've come, even with creating the Season of Self-Love podcast. Even have the courage to truly step out there and believe in what that I'm doing, and understanding that it's bigger than me. Understanding that people truly needs to know about what a self-love is. Self-love for us. Learn more about what that word, that statement, having an intimate relationship with yourself, and what does that mean? So if that means that on a daily basis that we have to break it down, and we have to, tear the layers, or peel the layers, peel the layers off of that onion, or whatever you want to call that object of you, because that's what we're doing. All of these different words and different scenarios and all of those things, we breaking it down. We're picking up the rock, and we seeing what's under that rock. And what I've been able to do right now is I've been able to appreciate this journey, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. You understand what I'm saying? And for me, that's something that I was able to be in front of you without a mask. You saw me trust my intuition in real time. So I was able to go through my progress and look at it, and even be objective in all of those things. The next one is thank you so very much. Express your thanks to your mentors, to your supporters, and yourself, as well as to everyone who has assisted you during your journey. So having gratitude may keep you inspired and upbeat. If you notice, that is something that I do every time I have Dr. Will on here. I am so blessed to have this young man here with me, that he continued to have the courage to keep tapping me on my shoulder, like, hey, I'm here. He don't know me from Adam. He just know me from what he's seen out there. I'm guessing that. But he kept going with it, and I thank him for it, because what it does is it brings another dynamic to this show. It brings another voice to this show. It brings another language to this show. I thank you, my listeners here, those that write back, those that comment. I thank you for that, because not only is it feedback for me, but also it lets myself, God, and the universe, or whoever you serve, know that you're listening, you're paying attention, and you're willing to receive the information that you need to help you grow. So that information and that tool that you have for your growth, you're going to give that to somewhere else, whether it's your children, whether it's your loved one, or a stranger that you might bump into. But at least you have this information that you can give. Celebrating our milestones. So it's honoring all of our accomplishments, no matter how tiny they are. Reward yourself, throw a modest party, or do something fun to commemorate, your accomplishments. And for me, this weekend was it. And I'm going to keep doing it. I do me little tea parties and stuff like that, if it's just me, myself, and I. Do it. And don't care about what nobody said. They say, what you celebrating? Say, I'm celebrating me. People going to look at you sideways, upside down, like, huh? Yes, I'm celebrating me. And you should celebrate you too. Celebrate your growth. Appreciate your journey. Throw yourself a tea party or whatever that you want to do. Go get you a cigar, whatever is your thing to help you to celebrate, to gift yourself, do that. Trust and believe I understand the journey, the setbacks, the obstacles. And for you to be able to get through that and be here today is amazing. It's amazing. Make a vision board. This is another one. Make a vision board. Honoring your journey can be greatly enhanced by visualizing your objectives and advancements. Regularly update your vision board to reflect your personal development. For myself, I have several different vision boards a year. I adjust them. I move, okay, I got this. Better yet, I write it down on another. Okay, this is what happened, check. This is what happened, check. And remember, your vision board doesn't always have to be something monetary or something physical. It can be a goal that you have within yourself, an accomplishment that you made for yourself. Whether it be, remember I talked months ago about making your bed every day? If you were a person that did not get up in the morning and make up your bed, and you made up your bed for 3 weeks straight, that's an accomplishment. Now, if we were talking about this 2 years ago, I did not make my bed 2 years ago. I get up, go about my day, come back in. Probably hours later, maybe I will make my bed. And I'm just being honest, maybe I will. But now, first thing in the morning, I get up. After I do my morning prayer, I make my bed and I'm on my way. I make my way. So that was a little bit of, that's another accomplishment that I share and I love. I'm like, it's something different for me now. It's more of a way of life for me that if I don't get out that bed and I make my bed, then it tells me something's going on with me. Truly. Now, if I get out that bed and I make it, that means my day gonna be good. Well, at least there's a possibility for it to be good. But if I make that bed, trust and believe there is something going on. Yes. Take notes. Keep track of your accomplishment and what you overcome, and your obstacles and your learned lessons. Keep a progress notebook so you can better see how you progress by taking a look back at your writing journey. Rituals of self-care. Take up self-care activities that are good for your body, mind, and spirit, and honoring the progress that you've made thus far that can be achieved by taking care of yourself. And tell us your story. Talking about your path with others might motivate people around you and serve as a reminder of how important your advancements is, and it might also assist you in seeing your accomplishment from fresh angles. And set new goals. To acknowledge your progress and keep going forward, set new goals that are in line with your changing future vision. And don't be afraid to seek feedback, to learn about your progress and place you for development. Get input from reliable sources and positive criticism that can assist you in realizing your progress. And also recognizing your advancement, you're acknowledging your value in individual skills and strength. So by accepting who you are and what you have to offer is a strong way to honor yourself. So recall that acknowledging your progress is a unique and personal process, and choose the method that speaks to you the most. Then incorporate them into your path of success and ongoing development, all right? All right, let's take a quick break, and then when I come back, we'll talk more. We'll talk more about self-love rituals and all of that other good things, all right? It's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back. Hey, it's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks, and make sure you tune in every Thursday night to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about everything from love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more. We're bridging the gap between them all, and we even talk about spiritual uplifting. You need to stop by Neon.com, Mike, as well as the BTG crew. We have some amazing guests that come through. You never know. Just make sure you tune in Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to AskNyomi.com and tell them Nyomi sent you.
Hi, I'm Dr. William C. Washington, aka Dr. Will, your friendly neighborhood counselor. One of the biggest things that I want to tell you about is that I'm a health psychologist, a licensed professional clinical counselor supervisor, an MDMA assisted therapist, a ketamine assisted therapist, a psychedelic integration prep specialist. I'm a researcher, a mentor, a supervisor, and also an artist. One of the biggest things about Washington Wellness Institute is that I created this to modernize the way that we look into the world. And I hate to say it, but we're finally getting rid of the old ways of thinking. I want to bring in the silver age of psychology. And to do that, I've even created a model called Restorative Enhancement Modality that focuses on motive and purpose to make healing a lifestyle. I want to offer this to you. I want to offer this to the world and to anyone that's ready to learn. So, if you're ready, sign up today. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And today we're talking about celebrating progress by recognizing and appreciating your journey towards dominance, all right? And in the last break, it was so funny. When I was reading, I was like, why does this all sound familiar that I'm giving him these techniques? Yes, I've given these techniques before. And it was just like second nature. But my prayer is that you are able to receive it differently to where it truly works for this, for celebrating, from understanding, from honoring your journey. So now let's talk about love rituals for progress. So embracing self-love rituals is a powerful way to celebrate our progress. And today I'll share some personal self-care practices that have helped me reconnect with myself and honor my growth. That's from a daily gratitude list to self-affirmation. And these rituals are tools for nurturing our self-esteem and acknowledging our self-worth. With self-care routines are very crucial for preserving our equilibrium and reviving the mind and reestablishing our personal connection. So for me, the following self-care techniques have worked for me that has been able to support my well-being and also strengthen my bond with myself. One of them, we talk about this often, is meditation with mindfulness. And we actually did a whole entire show on mindfulness, actually a whole week on mindfulness and how to use that in every aspect of your life. And with this one, with meditation with mindfulness, is spend some time in silence by concentrating on your breathing and practicing mindfulness meditation to develop a present moment in awareness. So through this practice, it's of non-judgmental observation of your thoughts and your emotion that you can cultivate inner calm and self-awareness. So let me share this with you. Yesterday, we had myself, and I've been telling you a little bit about my mom and her being diagnosed with dementia. And yesterday, we actually went in to see the neurologist yesterday for some of the test results that she had made. And I remember the doctor having a conversation with the doctor, and the doctor had wanted her to, kind of go for walks. She don't really like going for walks. She really likes just being in her room and staying and watching TV and conversating with her birds. The thing is that my mom has worked all of my life. And when I mean work, she's worked several different jobs. She's completed several different certificates and degrees, to better enhance herself, on the workforce in her career. She's always been career driven, and that's where I get that from. But also what she has done is she has lacked the part of taking self-care of herself. And really right now at the big age of 73 years old, she doesn't understand what that is. So I remember the doctor yesterday was speaking of her about, taking a walk in the park. I said, oh, I don't want to do the park. And she was like, well, that's something that you truly need to do. She said, well, why I just can't rest. I worked all my life. Why I'm just tired. And she said, well, that's good for you to be able to do that. She said, but then sometimes you have to, go out into the world and just see, so it can, help your mind to recreate, different things. And so I had started to talk to the doctor about, mindfulness and meditation. She said, that's great. She said, if you can find a way to be able to get her to where she will be in that mode, in that motion, in that moment, and find, an inner sense. So actually this morning we were able to take a walk around the park, and she was able to see, and it was fine. We walked for a good maybe 20, 30 minutes. So she walked beyond her 10 minutes. And she didn't complain. One thing is that she was able to observe, but she was in her silence. So it doesn't matter if you're sitting down or you're walking or whatever. You can still find that meditation and that mindfulness in there, all right? I just wanted to share that story with you all. And let me say this. I most likely will be sharing a lot more stories this is a part of my journey with my mom and being her caregiver with this new this new journey in our life. This is another new journey for me, another new, and I see it as an assignment for me is being able to create a peacefulness, but not only for her, but also as well as for my family. And I will definitely be sharing with you on some of the things, especially knowing that a lot of the things and a lot of the tools that I've given you all that I've learned myself that has helped me with my patience and my tolerance and understanding compassion and empathy for others, and understanding that at times when she talk or when she, says things to me that I can't take them personal because it's not her. And meaning that it's not her in this form now. This is who she was when she was younger, and I have to understand that I cannot take it personal. All right, the second one is a diary. Allocate specific times to record your ideas, emotions, and encounters in journaling. So writing can be very therapeutic for you, a therapeutic means of self-expression, mental clarity, and emotional processing that can result in improved self-awareness and insight. Nature walks, that's something that I just told you that we just did. We just took a walk in the park, her and my dog Zara, and just relaxing outside in natural location. And with this is that even watching, they're building onto our park out here. And it actually is already a amazing, beautiful park, but they're adding more to it. And so just watching the transformation on once was a hope, a lot of beautiful trees, now is bare. So now I'm excited to see what they are going to bring there and what it looks like and how it will impact my energy. Because usually when I'm walking around the park, I have great energy and I'm able to see so many different things in life in a different perspective. So I'm hoping that whatever that they're building, that it can truly help me and whoever else is walking around to get that energy, that it can, it can tie in to all of our growth. The next one is creative expressions. Take part in a joyful creative pursuit that let you express who you really are, like writing, painting, drawing, or performing music. And one of the most effective ways to assess your inner world and promote self-discovery is through creative expression. And that's definitely something that I've learned, especially in these past few years. I've always been a person that's been very a go-getter, very career-driven. And even in things that I do, artistry in certain things, from me creating and designing new clothes, and even in my balloon art, now my earrings, my jewelry, I've always found a way to try to bring that into where I'm monetizing it. And when I found that when I was doing it to where making it a monetize, to creating that for money for myself, it got a little stressed because it wasn't as enjoyable as it was before. What I've learned is kind of like to pull back on something. So now I'm no longer at this moment with my jewelry line. So now I just make the jewelry for fun and just to see what I can come with, the mixing of the different colors, of the different gems, and see what could just come out of it. And that's been very therapeutic for me. That's where I'm more at ease. It used to be cooking too. I used to be able to, when I go in the kitchen and I cook, I used to not like anyone else in the kitchen with me. And that was my moment in time just to connect, to be able to put the flavors together and stuff like that. But now it's more of me with doing things with creating with colors, with different textures of clays and gems and crystals and stuff like that, and understanding what all of these crystals do with certain parts of the body and how it would energetic like that. So that's where my creative expressions, it is for me. And I know whatever it is that you choose or whatever it is that you have, just, spend a little time. Now, if it's, a couple of hours a day or even an hour a day out of a week to do that, because I'm telling you, it helps so much. It does. It helps a lot. And even through that, even through when I creating new things, I have new ideas for other things. Man, it's like it just come. Moving your body, make frequent physical activities such as yoga, dancing, running, or hiking as your priority. For me, it's dancing. For me, I will take a break in the middle of me doing something, right? Whatever I'm doing, working, I would get up and turn on the music and jam out for a good 10 minutes, 2 or 3 songs. Yeah, would jam out. Seriously, I'll be in a whole different vibe. And seeing what this do when this will energize your body and it will improve the mood, and it also will increase your endorphins. So as it elevates your stress and it feel more alive and well by moving your body. Healthy eating. That's something that I wanted to start in March, and I was going to wait till the end of the week to actually speak on it. I'm going to put myself on a challenge, and I'm going to share with you too once I get it all together. That March is back to me getting back to my body. And honestly, all of March is all about our physical and our health wise. So that's going to be our full topics on each one of our topics for next month. For the month of March is healthy eating, healthy living, physical exercise. And, for this, it'll provide our body with wholesome things, wholesome foods that enhance our general well-being and health. Right now, yesterday it was told to me that my mom needs to be put on a Mediterranean diet. So that's something that I've been looking up with there, is trying to get her, a daily routine and stuff like that. But not only for her, but I'm going to implement a lot of those things in myself as well as the rest of my household, to make sure that is going to be well for us, not only physically, emotionally, but also financially too. A digital cleansing. All right, so this is one of my weakest spots, and I'm just going to be very honest. So let me tell you what the digital cleansing is to lessen stress, cut down on distractions, and make time for introspection and relaxation. Take pauses from screens and digital devices. See, you can reinforce and become more aware of the present moment by unplugging from technology. I need to do that more often, and I'm not just talking about when I wake up in the morning and I go in my meditation room and I meditate, but throughout the day. I am very guilty of not unplugging the way that I need to unplug. Even when I'm sitting reading a book, I kid you, I won't lie. I will read probably about two or three chapters, and then for some reason I go check my phone. For what reason, I do not know. I don't know if it's just the convenience of it or just whatever, but I definitely have to unplug from my technology. I definitely have to unplug from my phone, and it's usually my phone. No, I'm lying, because even if I'm laid in my bed resting on days I'm supposed to rest, my computer in my room, I would look right at it and I'd be like, oh, what I got to do? Is this something that I got to do? And I instantly would go up and go over there and sit down. And you know what happened? I instantly would get a migraine. And I said, that's nothing but the God, my spirit's universe telling me, go back over there and sit down. You know you're not supposed to be over here. Yeah. And I know you're like, Nyomi, why don't you take the computer out of your room? That is one of my offices. And I know I have different spaces for different things because I do so many things. And so right now that is my office when doing with Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap, when my spiritual stuff with that. And then I have my office down here where I'm recording my podcast. This is a whole different type of office. So yeah. And my thing is I'm using the space that I have, but I do. Or I need to put a cover over it or something. I don't know, but I have to figure it out. And respect quality. Sleep. We have to make sleep a priority by setting up a calm nighttime ritual, furnishing of a cozy sleeping space, and making sure you receive enough sleep every night. Restful sleep is so necessary. It is so necessary. It truly is. It is. All right, my beautiful people. So now that you have saw some of the things that I do, and I told you some of the things that I'm guilty of that I truly have to work on. But I truly have enjoyed this conversation today that we have about celebrating our progress and recognizing and appreciating our journey towards dominance. So as we wrap today's episode, let's reflect on the importance of recognizing and appreciating our progress. Celebrating our achievements, they fuel our motivation and reinforces our commitment to our personal growth journey. Now, I encourage you to take a moment today to acknowledge how far you've come and to celebrate yourself, truly to celebrate yourself. And again, we would love to hear about your achievements and how you celebrate your progress. By sharing your stories, can inspire and uplift others in their journeys. All right, again, I thank you so much for continuing to allow me to share this space with you and coming back here to the season of self-love and just listening to me. Yes. And thank you. Thank you for joining me on Celebrating the Progress. Your presence and engagement makes our community a source of inspiration and support. And also stay tuned for our next episode where we will explore another facet of self-love and personal growth. And remember, every step forward is a step towards achieving your dreams. So cherish your journey, embrace your progress, and keep moving forward with love and determination. So until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Have a good one. Thank you for listening to the Season of Self-Love podcast. If you have any questions or would like to connect with us, you can follow us on social media. Just search for the Season of Self-Love on Instagram. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to email us at elevateme9999@gmail.com. And remember, you are worthy of love, growth, and happiness. So keep shining bright, and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Season of Self-Love. Be good to one another and yourselves, and always keep it sexy. Send a light, love, and prayers.